2025 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Bendo?
Present.
Councilmember Lester?
Here.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Here.
Councilmember Fiumara?
Here.
President Finn?
Present.
Let the record indicate the presence of City Manager Dan Creighton and Corporation Counsel Frank DeCranis. We will now have a salute to the flag.
I got demoted, yes. Demoted, Chris.
Please place your hand over your heart. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I was about to say the Our Father. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to our July 1st meeting. Once again, it's raining, and we need to catch a break, but I guess it's a little bit of relief from the heat. So let's get started because we have a very full agenda today. So, I believe that we're going to have Commissioner De Palma get up and speak and inform us of some ongoing activities.
Thank you. So the Long Beach Police Department was involved in a investigation this morning. We served a search warrant in cooperation with the ATF. Search warrant was conducted and an arrest was made. Reason we're bringing this up is because there was a lot of concerns that this perhaps was an immigration situation. It was not. It was an ongoing investigation. It's continuing ongoing, so I can't get into too many details. But it wasn't ICE related. Additionally, on June 13th, the Long Beach Police Department had a situation where an individual barricaded themselves in their home. We needed to call in an outside agency. We called the Nassau County Police Department, their Emergency Service Unit, and Bureau of Special Operations to assist us in extricating that person from the house, and they were safely extricated. There were concerns that that was an ICE incident as well, and it was not. We are aware that ICE was in Long Beach on 2 occasions. The first occasion, they did notify us when they got here. We had no pre-notice. They notified us when they got here. And they asked for our assistance just to keep the peace and help them if they needed any emergency assistance. They didn't make any arrests that day. We were also aware that ICE was here last Saturday, and it appears that they made an arrest. We were not contacted, and we don't have any details regarding that arrest. ICE is a federal law enforcement agency. The Long Beach Police Department does not actively embed officers with ICE. We're a small department. We don't have the resources to do that. However, if ICE does operate within the city of Long Beach and they ask for our assistance, they are a law enforcement agency, and we will be there to keep the peace and to provide emergency assistance if needed. I understand there's a lot of concerns out there right now. And I just wanted to bring these 2 situations to light regarding today's incident and regarding the incident on June 13th to ease some tensions. And later on, if there's any questions, I'll be happy to address them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now have the city manager's report.
Okay. Thank you, Rich. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. We have a pretty light agenda, so I'll try to keep my report as brief as possible so I don't extend the length of the meeting, but probably be as long as the meeting. Tomorrow night is the first of our free summer concert series. Some band, I don't know, Tabasco Road is playing. I heard they're pretty good. And Grand Boulevard. They may be okay. I heard some good things about them and one of their bandmates, so I check them out if you feel free.
Do you have any requests?
Yeah, if you have any requests, put them in good and welfare. It would be a good thing to mention. Friday the 4th, is Independence Day. City Hall, the Magnolia Center, Rec Center, and Ice Arena will all be closed. Buses will be running on the holiday schedule. Regular sanitation will take place. The Sean Ryan Memorial Race will take place Friday morning on the boardwalk. The fun run begins at 8 a.m. and the 4K is at 8:30 a.m. Next Friday, the 11th, is the city's annual fireworks display. Head down to your local beach of choice at dark to enjoy the show. The rain date, if necessary, will be Saturday the 12th. Lastly, for events, the city's annual Arts and Crafts Festival will take place on the boardwalk at Riverside from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., both Saturday the 12th and Sunday, the 13th of July. Over 200 vendors are expected to line the boardwalk, offering everything from jewelry, fine art, and home decor to a variety of foods. The festival is a great tradition that the administration is proud to have brought back, so we look forward to seeing everyone there. I would also like to congratulate and recognize our outstanding lifeguards. We opened the beach a week early this year at no additional cost to residents, season pass holders. The early week was a busy one with temperatures of up to 98 degrees, so we were happy to have the beaches staffed for the following reasons, in addition to the very large crowds that would have come whether lifeguards were there or not. There were 8 major EMT calls, 3 heat exhaustion calls, 2 separated shoulder calls, 1 dislocated knee, 1 oxygen assistance due to swallowing water, and a third-degree burn on someone's foot. All were taken care of by our lifeguards. There were also 8 minor EMT calls for cut feet and hands, also taken care of by our EMT lifeguards. There were 2 water rescues and 45 swimmer assists, all in that week that we opened early. All of these calls would have been unanswered if the beach did not open early, as people would still have flocked to our pristine beaches on such beautiful hot days. In my opinion, the early beach opening resulted in saving of people's lives, both in and out of the water, due to the excellent work and professionalism of our outstanding lifeguard staff. We should all give them a round of applause. So with that, I would also like to embarrass and recognize Scott Kemmons, who began his employment here with the City of Long Beach 45 years ago today. He was originally hired as a special police officer. He has also held positions of fire dispatcher, lifeguard EMT, various positions in the fire department, including commissioner, and his current role is deputy commissioner of the fire department, director of emergency management, and commissioner of the buildings department. Scott is a tremendous civil servant who is invaluable to the City of Long Beach. Scott, we thank you for your service. Thank you. And with that, I'll conclude the city manager report. Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Dan. Congratulations, Scott, I think. No, I know. This guy's a great resource for Long Beach, really incredible. Appreciate everything you do. I guess we'll get on with the agenda.
Item number 1 is a resolution authorizing budget amendment to the Capital Projects Fund budget.
So this item is similar to many that we've done council resolutions in the past. It's to move money from a grant received from the Department of Agriculture back into the budget as working capital. It's $22,426.07 out of a $100,000 grant, because that's the money that we received so far for trees that were already planted. And we'll use this money to do the next round of plantings. If you have any questions, Patty Bourne is here. If you have any further questions.
All right, do we have questions from the council?
No. Yeah. Patty, I don't know how much you know about the tree planting, but I was looking up over the backup documents. These trees were 2 feet tall, 2 to 2.5 feet tall. Is that right?
Ken may be able to answer if you can't, Patty.
I'm turning this over to Ken.
Oh, okay.
The trees were between 6 and 8 feet tall.
They what?
Between 6 and 8 feet tall. I think the caliber is 2 inches.
Because it seems like the receipt has them down at 2 to 2.5 feet tall.
No, they were much taller.
Okay. And there were 36 of them,
Yes,
and we installed them ourselves.
correct.
And that was 216 hours?
Correct.
Was there any reason why it all had to be overtime?
The spring is beach season, getting beach ready, and manpower layout had to be at hours. I discussed that with staff, and we're looking to do the fall planting on regular time.
There was nobody available? Not one person? Okay. And why were these particular trees chosen? That's kind of a puzzling.
Predates me, but what I was told is that they looked at trees that survive in this community, and that's why they were selected that way. That's going to be a discussion for the next round of tree planting about not just more than one species also.
No, it's just that these particular trees a lot of places don't allow them because, I'll just read you what Google says. They attract stinky, jawed bugs by the thousands, so much that they've been called golden rain tree bugs. They're looking at a mess of seeds and a mass of insect stains if you step near the tree. Just doesn't seem,
We'll look at that.
Yeah.
This predates me why we wanted those trees.
Yeah.
And I know that when I spoke with the guys, it was about the trees that live in Stillwater that will start.
And also, let me add to that, we also have an arborist now on our environmental committee, and we were going to talk with her as well about what the best
Okay,
use of
thank
trees
you.
are in the area.
Any other comments from the council? I'll make a comment, though. I believe that Ken had just started in, was it February? And I think he's done a very efficient job with the management of the labor and the overtime. I think it's been kind of a breath of fresh air. So I appreciate what you've been doing, Ken, Mr. Sourcewell. All right, thanks. Comments from the public? Okay, we'll close that.
Item number 2, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a intermunicipal cooperation agreement with the County of Nassau to receive funding for the purchase of new digital software and related items.
Okay, so this item is to allow us to enter into an agreement with Nassau County to receive funding to purchase software for the lifeguards. I would like to personally thank the county legislator, Patrick Mullaney, for funding this entire project for a period of 5 years. Rich Borowski from the lifeguards is here to answer any questions you may have on this item. Rich, if you could explain some of the services that are provided by this software, including, I think, the riptides, et cetera, because I know there's some questions on that.
The digital platform is basically to help us become more efficient lifeguard agency. We're getting away from paper and pen. The beauty of this platform is it helps us with giving residents real-time data, up-to-date community risk information, so when they're coming to the beach, whether you're a resident or not resident, you come and you have that data by scanning a code. It helps us with incident reporting. It's just a life-saving, which makes us a more efficient lifeguard entity. And I think this catapults us into an area where I think, and with as young as we are, which is definitely needed for this system, it puts us in another area where, you know, I'll put us against any lifeguard agency on the East Coast,
Okay,
including
thanks.
Jones Beach.
Thank you, Rich. You have comments?
just,
I'm surprised. Here we go.
Rich, did you say it tells you how many residents as opposed to non-residents come down?
No,
All right. I didn't understand that.
no. It's to help anybody that comes to the beaches on Long Beach have
Yeah.
real-time data before they even come to the beach. They'll know.
Oh, okay, so they get to see.
Correct. They'll know.
Sort of like looking at Surfline.
It's better than Surfline. They'll know rip currents on each beach because we'll provide that data first thing in the morning, in the afternoon, and then before we leave.
Now, is there any tie-in with the actual booths so you would know how many people are at what beach?
It could be used for that, but we're starting off very small to start off with forms and incident reporting, and mostly the public, the community dashboard. That's the big key with this. It's the letting the residents know and anybody coming to the beach know what's going on the beach before they even come to the beach.
If I could just add, the number of people that are on each beach will be registered through the beach passes. So
Right,
scanning
so,
that,
but,
yeah.
but the lifeguards, it would be great if the lifeguards could know that.
They can.
So-
They could get that information.
I can get that from Beach Park.
Oh, so you get that information?
Correct.
Yes.
So that could actually be given to the residents too, so they know which beach is crowded.
Oh, definitely. So be it. I mean, it's an entity where we can go even further with this because it could be customized if it works the way we think it is. Could be used with other departments.
Uh-huh. And it can make your schedules?
Meaning what way? Schedules.
Scheduling software for where.
Oh, yes,
lifeguards-
yes. Customize them for any department. That's the beauty of this right now.
Well,
I've been
I'm
doing
gonna-
my research on it, And Carrie Epstein as well
Yes.
is interested in it as, from Jones Beach. So,
Right.
um,
Any toy for him.
yeah, 100% correct.
Do they have your approval, Roy?
It
At
sounds
Jones?
good.
At Jones?
If we could get a scheduling thing, that's the biggest thing.
All right.
And you have 45 guys at a single beach, and you have all the stands out,
It'll give you an aerial view of who's working what stands.
All right, thanks.
Oh, that's
You're
great. Yeah, that's good. Mike?
I just wanted to say, Rich, congratulations on last week, what the city manager went through. Your team did an incredible job.
It
That's great.
goes to the young boys and girls that have been
Yeah.
working. We're so young, but they stepped up to the plate that whole week.
No, my kids are in junior lifeguards right now, so I'm hoping one day they're
Future
working.
lifeguards, that's what I like to
I'm
hear.
hoping they're working for you. But also, like what you and Roy just touched on, I love, because I think that's what, over the last year, there's been systems put in place, whether it be the budget, whether it be the beach passes, and now with this, where we can get real-time data, and that just helps with our resources and having information, always important. And of course, thank you, Legislator Mullaney, because sometimes when we receive grants, it's matching grants, or we have to pay for portions of this. Mullaney secured this grant for us, and it's really paying for everything from the iPad cases to Wi-Fi bills. So it's really good. So
This has been a team effort throughout the departments with the thanks to Dan and Phil and community development and Scotty Kemmons. We run through this with everybody to make sure we're on the same page. Jamie Roman and Russell in IT. It's been a 100% team effort, and we're ready to start it.
Great. Thanks, Rich.
Any other comments? Questions or comments from the public? Okay, I think we can close that one too then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
I just will note, Rich, this is to accept the grant. The item to actually vote on the purchase of the software will be at the next meeting.
Right. Okay. All right.
Right, now on to voting. Item number 1, a resolution authorizing budget amendment to the Capital Projects Fund and budget, the Capital Projects Fund budget. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will. Sorry.
Second?
I will.
All right, voting. Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiamara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 2, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an intermunicipal cooperation agreement with the County of Nassau to receive funding for the purchase of new digital software and related items. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second? Councilmember Bendo?
Rich, all that carbon paper you won't need anymore, give it to Roy. He'll use it in his office. Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiamara? President Finn?
Yes.
The city manager's personnel report has been filed by the city clerk. Who will make a motion to close the meeting?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Bendo?
Yes.
Councilmember Lester?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiamara? President Finn?
Yes. All right. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Helen Dorado Alessi?
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm the Executive Director of Long Beach Latino Civic Association, and I thank you for this opportunity to have a conversation with you all. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I am very, very proud of my heritage. Let me say that again. I'm very, very proud of my heritage, as I'm sure you are too. And there was a time when Americans understood the importance of the immigrant population that the lady in the harbor, the Statue of Liberty, beckoned. Not many people know that my Cuban-born father worked for Customs and Immigration for many years, starting with the Reagan administration, that allowed for a program called Amnesty to exist and help people become part of the American way of life. At the dinner table, I heard the stories of immigrant families trying so hard to have a better life. I hear today's immigrant stories in schools and communities as well. It's a very proud story. ICE has been to Long Beach on 2 occasions. We have not really had much communication from the police department or the city administration about these visits. This is concerning. The community is on high alert, the Hispanic community especially. Why? Because they know that if they are picked up off the street because of the way they look or the color of their skin, they will not receive due process and could be deported to a detention camp in El Salvador, Florida, where today was opened a facility called Alligator Alcatraz, Guantanamo Bay, or a country that they do not even come from. Our police department has worked diligently to have a good relationship with the community. It is no longer that for some people. People are afraid to send their children to school, to go shopping, go to the doctors, or to call for emergency help from police or fire department. As a matter of fact, we've had 2 domestic violence cases where I've begged them to call the police department, and they said absolutely not. They're afraid of being deported. According to the program, 60 Minutes, close to 70% of people being deported have not committed any crimes. The Cato Institute says that of the 35% that have committed crimes, less than 5% committed violent crimes. 65% have no criminal record whatsoever. Many are following the proper procedures for asylum or here under TPS, Temporary Protected Service. So what does that mean to a small city like Long Beach with a 15% population that is Hispanic? That means that 5,000 people consider themselves at risk. ICE raids have been reported all over Long Island. We really don't want that here. We don't want that kind of fear and anger. We look forward to working with the commissioner and the city leadership, and we have assembled a task force, an immigration task force, that already has 20 individuals that are meeting regularly. They are made up of community leaders, business owners, and religious leaders. We look forward to the police commissioner and the city leadership to attend, to hear, and to react to the group's serious concerns. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. As our police commissioner spoke already today at the start of the meeting, as you can see, he's on top of it. Our police department is an excellent one and very responsive to the needs of the community, and I know that our commissioner will be involved in that as well. Just from my own personal perspective, I grew up on Grand Boulevard in the early 60s, and we had quite a Cuban immigrant neighbors on either side of my house and around the corner. So I understand what you're talking about, and Long Beach is a place where everybody is valued. So thank you for bringing that up. Ron Paganini? That wasn't fireworks last night, that was a thunderbolt. And it scared my dog. But there were fireworks, I know.
They sound like it, though.
No, I know. Yeah, there were.
Ron Paganini, Long Beach. I did a little research. I'm going to go through this quick. I was thinking, how do these guys getting these bombs, these mortar bombs? They go from 2-inch up to 10 inches. 10 inches round. They get them online. They get them online. You can buy them online. A tractor-trailer goes to every state except Hawaii, Alaska, and California. Tractor-trailers bring them into any state, whether it's, yeah, any state. They're licensed to bring them in, and look it up, to any state. You contact these people. It's online. It's easy. And early enough, you'll get anything you want. Anything you want. That's why these weasels, okay, are getting this stuff. Years ago, you had to go to the city, or you had to have a connection somewhere, right? Yeah. No, these people are getting them. The truck will stop somewhere where they can take it off the truck. They have to take it off the truck. This is how easy it is now. Okay, that's why you're hearing this all over Long Island. It's not just Long Beach. Okay, it's out in East Hampton. It's all over. So I just want to let you know how easy it is and why. So listen, I'm not anti-4th of July. I love 4th of July. Okay? Well, when I blew off stuff, it was regular rockets, you know, Roman candles and that stuff. The noise wasn't bad. It was very, you know, easy on the head, on the ears. Okay? So I'm not anti-4th of July, and I'm not anti-fireworks. Do fireworks, but don't blow me off the freaking couch and I can't watch TV. I can't stay in my house. So, all right, I got it out. It's the type of fireworks. They're too loud. It's the duration. We know all of that. So I just want to let the people know that the commissioner, you know, and the city manager, I spoke with them, and basically, you know, I'd like for them, or the commission, to say something to the people. If they hear this stuff, what can they do, you know, over a certain amount of time? Listen, fireworks are going to go on 4th of July, but after a certain hour, we don't need to hear that anymore, those bombs. So can maybe the commission come up and say, you know, what the resident can do if they're, you know, inundated on this stuff? So that's all I have to say. And by the way, up in the canals, since they showed up last 4th of July, we had one incident, and they responded so fast. It was incredible, and I haven't heard anything up by me. So they did a good job, and you know what?
West.
I mean, listen, it was pretty good. But anyway, it's up to the commissioner here to do what he does best.
All right, we're gonna do our best on 4th of July. Some are gonna get through us, but we're gonna have extra patrols out there. So please call us if you do hear fireworks, especially after 10 o'clock. My officers have been told to, we're doing zero tolerance after 10 o'clock. So please give us a call. Thank you. And Helen, if I just wanted to mention something. When you were speaking before, the Long Beach Police Department is here to serve and protect. So please tell your constituents and members that if they're in an emergency, if they need help, please call us. You know, we're here to serve and protect, and we want to help people that need help. And I'll see you. I'll come by Thursday, and we'll talk. Thanks.
Mind if I say something? Yeah. Ron, I also want to say we'll put a post online that basically says what residents could do to make a complaint on that day, so that other people will have the same information. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ron. So does my dog. Judith Moran?
Well, this whole day seems to be about noise. Okay, I was in Mass this morning. You heard it, President, that there was a bird chirping in Mass all day long. Well, I have that tenfold every weekend. Okay, I want to play something for you from my porch. Okay? That is from my porch. I cannot sit on my porch. I need a miracle every day. I need a miracle every weekend. From Friday to Saturday to Sunday, it doesn't stop. It goes from a band from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then when it stops at 9, it goes on to a DJ that all I hear in my house, through my houses. I have spoken to my neighbors, a lot of young renters, okay, that all say, oh, I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night. Well, why don't you get up and say something? Nobody says anything. You know what I hear? And I hate to say this to you guys. You're on the take. Nothing's ever going to change. I never believe in that. I believe in change, okay? I believe in the law, okay? And here it says on section 14, loud hooligans, vandalism, boisterous, peace, tranquility of residents, limiting numbers of establishments. You have let that one place double and triple in size since I moved here in 2008, okay? Full service, sitting outside, cash, they take sippy cups and bring pina coladas outside. Nobody says anything, nobody's watching. I just need some peace. All my neighbors need peace. We are deserving of peace. I need for you to look at this noise ordinance again and just read it over and tell me, are we in compliance? Police commissioner has told me millions of times to call. How many times do I have to call? How many times? I hate calling. I have respect for my police. And sometimes I see them because I can see everything through my window, which I hate, but they drive by. They don't even have their windows open. How are you going to hear it? You could try an 8-foot wall. I think, I'm sorry that my email didn't go out to all of you because something kept bouncing back, but an 8-foot wall like they have on the LIE, something around that place, okay? They own the house behind them. They own the house across the street. So, anyway, I know.
Thank you.
And may I, please?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
A couple of questions. You know the ordinance. You know up until 10 o'clock it's 65 decibels. After 10 o'clock it's 50 decibels.
It's never 65.
That's, you know what? Do you have a meter?
Yes, on my phone. And I was told by the previous police commissioner that I couldn't use that one, that I have to use the one the police commissioner is using.
Well, that's not necessarily true. It's not, listen, you can buy a single meter for $29.
You can put it on your phone.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? If you
I'll buy
have
my
a
own.
separate one for
Okay.
$29, the noise has to be, it cannot be in the building, it has to be right outside. So if that thing registers over, you know, when you call the police, it'd be curious to see what theirs registers. Theirs is calibrated, their people are trained on it. But you know what you're saying and what, you know, is happening doesn't seem to coincide. So
You heard it. I just played it for you.
I know
Yeah.
that. I know that. I personally
I have
don't.
more if you
I
wanna
don't-
hear them.
I personally don't believe that's under 50. You know,
No.
but 50 is only after 10 o'clock. 65, I don't even believe that's under 65. So
If I may,
yes,
we did just purchase 2 noise meters. Noise meters we had previously were very antiquated and old, so we just purchased them. Right now, we have an officer this week that will be finishing training. He has to go to New Jersey to collect his certification, and once he is fully trained, we will now have an officer who is actually able to testify and able to issue summonses with the noise meter. So we will be out doing some proactive work. We're actually going to go out there, and once we get the noise meter in service, we're going to go out to the bars and talk to them and ask them, you know, to put their music on, so we can point out to them how loud they are under normal circumstances. So we have this. This is planned. This is what we're hoping to do very soon. And I'm sorry you're so frustrated. And we are here. We are hearing you, and we are going to do our best to help you
My
out.
friend here was in my house on Sunday with my windows closed and air conditioning on, and she couldn't believe the noise. She said, how does anybody live like this?
well, that's why I'm curious.
It's not fair.
Rich, when you have them, you know, it would be great to compare. If yours is accurate, if yours and the police agree, and then you see that happening, then you can call right away and you can say exactly what's going on. And he's really responsive.
Yes, they all come, but then you leave and it starts again.
I have a feeling it's not going to.
Hopefully this will be helpful to your
Please,
problem.
please, I beg of you.
I agree with you.
I mean, then my next door neighbor, they don't want to do anything because of illegal apartments. People across the street, illegal apartment. They're not going to say, I live with a bunch of people that are renters and everything, and you know that's a problem in the West End.
All right, thank you very much.
Please.
Thanks.
I had a dream last night, a nightmare, that somebody spray painted my house. And I have had retaliation from that place before. I had COVID, and I was sitting on my porch, and I was cursed at and fingered and everything else. And this is a while ago. This is 2012, but yeah, I mean 2020. But it was a while ago. But I'm afraid, and my nerves, if you could see me, I'm shaking. I'm sick of it. And I cannot move. I can't afford to move. I love my house. I love Long Beach.
You
Come
shouldn't
by
have to.
my house.
Right.
I'll make you all dinner. I'll do anything for you to come and see,
Thank you.
what care I take in my house.
Thank you very
Please.
much. Thanks.
And I do anything for this community. I clean up the streets. I pick up dirt. I'm one of the first people to do the beautification down in the West End. John knows that.
Judy,
I do anything.
like I said, we'll be there. I'll have the noise meter very soon, and I'll call you and I'll show you. Thank you so much.
Blank. Linda Giles?
Good evening, Linda Giles, Long Beach. Two
Good evening.
things. Driving around town, I've noticed that a lot of the streets have been repaved. Beautiful to see. Just curious, where did we get the money? Is that a grant, or how did that work?
Yes.
Some of it is money that we set aside for street repaving. Some of it is done by our utility companies. So when we allow either PSEG or National Grid to do work at our streets replacing mains, they have to replace the streets curb to curb as part of their permit.
Just not a matching grant of any kind?
No.
Okay. Because when we did have a grant, we did some streets over, I had come up here to say, especially the striping, I came up here to ask why we couldn't do that in-house rather than do a matching grant, which cost us, I think, about $50,000. Just to let you know.
Yeah, we have had grants in the past for
I know.
striping that
I know.
was wasted on streets that weren't even repaved.
There you go. Okay. My other question, well, let's talk about the streets for one more time. We have speed bumps on a lot of our streets, and I'm just curious to know, how do you determine what streets get a speed bump?
Rich, you want to come up and mention, there's a lot of criteria that it has to meet in order to get a speed bump. And if it meets the criteria, we'll put one in, but a lot of streets don't make it, but I'll let Rich talk.
Yeah, if you contact DPW, that's where you apply. DPW would then will contact the police department, and we'll do a traffic safety survey, and we'll take speed readings from the street, and if it falls into criteria, then we'll report to DPW that it does. Most streets don't. You know, a lot of people think people zoom down their street. We get a lot of complaints, and then when we set up the speed calibrator, that the speed radar, that a lot of these streets don't fall into the criteria.
Several of the streets that were up for repaving haven't been repaved, specifically the 200 and the 300 block of East Pine Street. I had spoken to this body about this before, and I was told that it was going to be done. It hasn't been done. That's the first street off the bridge. Gets a lot of abuse, and it's really in bad shape. So I don't know who can speak to that, if that's on the agenda to be done.
Well, we'll certainly take note of it.
We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to take.
All right,
yeah.
200 and 300 block of East Pine.
Right.
So you know what I'm talking about. It's
I've been
like-
talking about East Pine for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's like a roller coaster when you go
Yes.
down that street.
Well, it gets the most traffic. It's probably one of the most trafficked
Yeah,
streets in Long Beach.
probably. And one of the most important things to me is the condition of the Long Beach Hospital. I go to South Nassau, right across the street, and every time I go, it's getting worse and worse.
We just discussed it, as a matter of fact.
So great, tell me what you discussed, because insulation is hanging, the windows are broken. Do we know what's happening? Has anybody inspected it? It's really just a horrible zombie building.
Well, once again, this is something that we have to address, we have to talk about with the owners. Yeah, it's,
'Cause we've been
unfortunately,
talk-
it's not totally, we don't really have a lot of say in it. You know, we have to try to,
But I understand you don't have a lot of say in what's going to be there, but don't you have any say on the condition?
yeah, right, well, we have to address that, absolutely.
I mean, have any of you walked through the building to see what's going on?
No, we requested permission to enter that building so we could check for a few things. We're still working with Mount Sinai South Nassau to get into the building.
Don't we have the right to go
No.
in there?
You don't have the right to enter private property. You'd have to, unless we have like
I
some,
can't even imagine what's growing in there, and now it seems to be coming out, which is really scary. All right, I'm hoping to hear sooner
Yeah,
than later
I
that something is
agree. I
being
mean,
done. It's really
lament the
an
fact that there's no
eyesore.
hospital there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, thank you. James Hodge?
Good evening, James Hodge.
Good evening.
Here in our city, you know, I hear a lot of things about how great things are, but we can always make them better. We talk about how much our city really loves everyone and everyone should be at the table, but as I often remind you that there's over 80 some odd police officers and there's not one African American police officer in our city. I know the police commissioner the police commissioner is trying to work on it now. It's a job that he took over. There's 40, 50 police officers that's been hired within the last 2 years prior to him, and now there's a police test. So, you know, I thank God for him and trying to do this police test. I also will say, you know, we say that we care, but I see a lot of times that this administration constantly promote Republican Party indirectly, whether it's always on social media. You know, every ice cream shop don't have to be the city council with ice cream cone. It can just be that ice cream shop. I know a council member is running, but it don't always have to be on the city website. On every business, it's like a promotion. And also the state assembly person or the state senator. You know, I know that this current administration supports Trump very well. You know, President, you did a march for him, a parade through Long Beach and Lido Beach. And so I say that you supported Project 2025. You supported everything that it means, and it's devastating our country. This big, beautiful bill that will increase the uninsured population. The bill estimated to increase the number of uninsured Americans by 11.89 million people, largely due to cuts in Medicaid and changes to the Affordable Care Act. The national deficit will increase. It's projected to add nearly $3.3 trillion. Also, you know, it's tax cuts for the wealthy. It's something you supported. The bill includes 4.5 trillion cuts. It will be cuts to SNAP, cuts to affecting low-income families, changes to SNAP, and also affecting older adults, individuals with disabilities. Cuts to Medicaid would lead to higher out-of-pocket costs and for health care. So I say, as you say, everything is so wonderful. We smile, but there's people hurting. They say we care, but they're ripping families apart. ICE and what this administration is doing. So I say that if you're writing letters, write a letter to Trump, somebody you supported. Write a letter to him and tell him what he's doing in this country. It's all right until his buddies call him and say, no, it's all right, my time is up, but I'm going to take time on this. Thank you, President. It's all right until his buddies tell him, no, it's taken away from the farmers and the hotels, and so he wants to stop some of it now. But it's tearing families apart. And I say to you, President, if you please can write him a letter and tell him that this bill is not helping us. Tell him what he's doing, ripping families apart, young children, traumatizing families. I'll end with this. President, I do always appreciate you and how you give me time. I will say that. But I'll say that we Christians, we all say we're Christians. And the Bible says, when a foreigner resides among you in the land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as a native born. Love as yourself, for you were a foreigner once. Leviticus. And I finish off with this, President. The Lord Jesus said, for when I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was thirsty, you gave me a drink. A stranger, and you welcomed me. Say, whatever you did to them, you did unto the least. You did it, whatever you did for the least, you did it unto me. So, President, I ask that you pray for this country and pray for our families. Seeing what's happening is traumatizing. Some people are excited with it, President. And I'm finishing, but it's hurting. It's traumatizing. It's you know, so I say, please, as you pray at night, and to the council, some people not worried about this. It's not affecting them until it is something affecting them. And this affects me heavy. I work with a lot of people, Latinos, Haitians, many people. TBS will be canceled after September 2nd. It's a lot going on, President. We need action, prayer without works. Faith without works is dead. So let us pray, but let us put action. Let us put pen to paper.
Thank you.
And I ask you for your help and what Long Beach can do in helping out. And also everything else I ask.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, President.
Brent.
And I will note that, no, thank you, James. No, it's not a rebuttal. I'm not rebutting. Oh, thank you. I wasn't addressing it at you walking away. I just say that today's gospel was about the apostles in the boat in the big storm, and Jesus was sleeping. And then he woke up and he calmed the waters, and I'm hoping that's going to happen for us in Long Beach, so we can have a good weekend of sun and people being able to go out and everybody can get along and have a good time. So thank you very much. Okay, have a great night, everybody. That's the. Oh no, we have Karen Riskin. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Karen Riskin. What's up?
Brendan, I just have a.
What is it?
I have a comment. James, the one thing that most people don't recognize, and I know Dan is very aware of it, we get a lot of our money from the federal government. We take care of a lot of things through federal grants, and those things are drying up, and that's going to be dumped on our doorstep. And the same way with the state. A lot of money is being taken away, and a lot of money that is being used to help people. I know a lot of our police money comes from the federal government. FEMA, all of those things are going to be disappearing. It's not just...
Why do you say that?
Why?
Why do you say that?
Because you look at the cuts, all right? So
wait a minute, why do you say that the federal government's going to cut Long Beach's money? Why do you say that? Do you have proof of that?
Because of the cuts. If you look at the cuts...
Just do me a favor, guys.
Okay? You want to argue it now? No, I'm just talking to James.
I think you're making things
up. And you're
up.
coming in to defend Trump.
I'm not defending Trump. You're saying we're going to lose federal funding.
Yes.
Do you have proof of that? No, I'm talking to
Yeah, look at the bill. Did you read the bill? No, you didn't.
I bet you didn't either.
James. What? You read 37,000 pages? No.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
37,000 pages either.
37,860, but yeah, but anyway, I don't know why we're talking about the Long Beach City Council being such grandstanding. Does
No, I'm talking about what we do. We depend on federal funds. and
I'd like to
that's
just let
important.
Karen stand
And
it
it's
up
not
here.
grandstanding.
Come on up, Karen. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Karen.
I have been keeping up with all the news articles and looking around and keeping my ears open. The boat, the barge, I don't know what you want to call it, they're moving at such a scary, fast pace. And I'm so afraid that what they're building is going to be inferior and then cost us even more problems in life. We don't need any more problems. We have a community that we love, that we need to save, and we need to push harder, and we need to push faster. I don't know everything that you gentlemen discussed, and I don't privately, but I just wish it would go faster. It's just, we have to, or we're going to be in trouble, and I don't want to be in trouble. None of us do. And it's a lot for you to handle for the community because there's a lot of unknowns. I've learned that these big cylinders have been brought to the Barrett stations by truckloads. I was over there and I didn't see them. I don't know where they went, but somebody told me they saw them there. I'm suspecting that they were brought out to the barge. That's what I thought, that's where they belong. I'm not 100%, I have to say, but we need to figure out how to go faster and in a safe, secure way where it's not going to backfire. I mean, we're trying so hard to fight, but we just need more help. And we need more community help. I wish everybody would all of us, they would say, good job to me in the street. They would say, you're doing a great job. And I'll look at them and say, why don't you help? They don't want to help, but they'll say that we did a good job. We need more than that. And I was just curious about one last question to Mr. Reinhardt. As far as the zoning goes that you were discussing, it was very vague. But again, we need to do something. It's on the fault line. The fault line is dangerous. From my information and knowledge, and if I am wrong, I'd love that to be, but actually in one aspect of it, it could be a benefit to kick them out of the water.
Well, the moratorium, sorry.
Go ahead.
The moratorium was for the best systems that the council passed a few months ago. Zoning was in reference to best systems.
It wasn't in reference to the fault line
No.
or anything. I mean, the best systems, that's great.
So Karen,
But-
Karen, I tried to call you the other day.
I
think
know, we kept missing each other.
The zoning will not prevent the work to happen in the ocean. The zoning only is for Long Beach proper. We don't control the zoning of the ocean, so we can't stop wind farms with zoning
Well-
here in Long Beach, out in federal land.
But has anybody written a letter?
Yes.
Yes,
No,
I have.
No, regarding the fault line?
Not regarding the fault lines, but regarding my personal opposition to what's going on. The council is unanimous about protecting Long Beach from cables. I mean, we're doing what we can where we can do it. I think we have been diligent in at least advocating for Long Beach.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to hear. I mean, I would expect that, knowing all
Right.
of you.
Right.
But regarding the fault line, if that gets affected because of all what they do,
Is that the beeper?
Yeah.
That's a new one? Oh,
So
wow.
just to let you know.
Sorry about that, but
I'm
that's a new
sorry,
beeper.
just
So,
one last thought, please.
or whatever. Yes.
The fault line, it's very dangerous. And it's dangerous for us on land if it gets destructed.
Just to say something on that too. You know, New York City is built on a fault line, right?
Pardon me?
New York City is built on a fault line.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's it's still not something we're in favor of.
The Bronx
It's- but-
or Manhattan? Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's not, I don't think it would, and I think the federal government's aware of it, but just so you know, we can't, it's a federal project, it's on federal land. Long Beach will continue to fight it, but we can't stop a project that's not under our jurisdiction.
Well, can it be
But
brought
we can
to
write
their
letters,
attention?
yes. We can continue to
Yeah,
write letters.
I will continue, yeah.
That's all I'm saying, is bring it to their attention.
Okay. We will. Thank you.
And thank you very much, and I thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Like I say, I hope the storm is calmed and we can have a good weekend.